Here we are with the second episode here for Dunestar Beach Handball's YouTube channel. I'm here with the starting women's goalie for the national team, Katiann Scherer.
Hi, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
And we're going to be commentating this video here, and like I said on the last episode, we're trying to get as much content out as we can for the Americans out there that are trying to find out about beach handball and have some commentary and not have to dig so deep into the foreign websites and such. But so I have a quick question here for Katiann Scherer to get things started off before this game gets started. Katiann, how did you get started with handball?
I went to Ohio State and I started the whole club team there. I was playing co-ed with my sister, and I went and tried out for the national team, and you know, the coach really liked my potential, and the rest is history. I'm still here, still doing what I love.
Right on, right on. So yeah, as I was saying in the first episode, we're going to be doing kind of like interviews going on throughout the games here with whoever the guest commentator is, and sometimes I won't even be one of the commentators. But as the game gets started here, it's like a basketball tip-off. So here they go. USA versus Russia. Russia secured the ball after the tip-off there, and looks like they're about to get started.
Yeah, and here we have a defensive lineup. You know, we have the 3 against 4, and we try and not have the specialist score, which is that other player with a different jersey color.
Yeah, the goalies and the specialist wear a different color than the rest of the team. So if you see there for Team USA, most of the players are in blue, and that one girl, number 3, is in red, and so is the goalie. So they're worth 2 points no matter what. That was kind of a fumble in the air, so there's a turnover there. Russia's ball, 2-0 Russia. And here we go with the center back with the ball, specialist coming in.
Okay, and now Russia's attacking, doing a good breakthrough through that defensive line. The defense really needs to step in front of them because it's a non-contact sport. So as long as you take that space away, you're able to kind of stop them from attacking.
Yeah, anything that's a charge, just like in basketball, if you charge through the player, if they're planted already and they're not moving, then it'd be a charge. So that's the best bet for the defensive scheme in a scenario where they're trying to take a lane like that. There's a good pass up to the pivot there for Russia with a good high corner goal there, and yeah, pretty much. So these are American teams mostly play in Hermosa Beach when we're training, and here we are in Russia, getting it going as best as we can.
So now we have the turnover from Russia. Now they're going for it. That was a good transition, fast transition. It's hard to beat them on that when they have so much flow going through. But now we have USA trying to get back on it, and this is an overload where Courtney, number 3, was going to run up the side with her specialist shot, being those 2 points. It's the easiest one for us to have score and get the points that we need. So overload is where each person attacks their gap, and since you have that 3-on-4, there's going to be one gap left over that the defense can't get to. Like this, that was an overload.
Shot high off the top bar. Too much coverage by Katiann Scherer there. Good job there for the good save. Anything that's not a goal is pretty much considered a save by the defense. So anytime they don't score, that's practically 4 points, because you should score every single time on offense since you're a man up. So anytime both teams don't score, it's kind of like amazing play by the defense. Wow, nice save.
So then now everybody's kind of looking around, and I'm even like, what just happened? But the refs have different angles of their view. So they said that we came into contact with them. Yeah.
So they think that defender hit her arm when she was shooting. So it's all on the angle that the ref sees. So they can't see every single thing, and also the camera is at a certain angle too. So who knows? But
even though the players, I feel like, see it most of it, and they know what's actually happening, but you also get those people that we like to say it's like a soccer flop or something. But it's always fun to just see how non-contact kind of has some contact in this sport.
Or maybe some fake contact.
Yeah.
So this is a penalty shot because of the quoted contact, with a huge save by number 10 from USA, Katiann Scherer.
Thanks, yeah. In those situations, for shootout shots, it's always fun with a goalie, and you're just kind of playing with the shooter. You gotta either think like, hey, this girl, she's a righty, and which side does the right side usually like to shoot? Or like which way is she lining up? You also have to look at the wrist and how it all plays out. But that was a really good transition and a good goal back with Liz Hartnett on the wing.
Yeah, Liz Hartnett is from Fullerton, California, and she's a lefty on the team playing the right wing.
Sorry, I'm going to stop you right there because that shot, I stopped and it totally just like went back into the goal, and I definitely didn't think it crossed over the line. But again, the refs have a different view, and they are on that goal line to be able to see if the ball fully crossed over, because that's how the points are taken. Each goal, you have to have the ball fully cross over that line. So if it's only partially over, it's not going to count as a goal.
Yeah, sometimes it even goes in but bounces out because of the way the sand is quickly, and then the ref doesn't catch it. So we've got 5.5 minutes left in this half, and the score is 10-6 with Russia in the lead. USA has the ball's on the left wing, center.
Oh, now that went off the goalie, it went off the side, so now that's a throw-in by our USA team. Nice. They're only saying 1 point, and I think it's because her feet weren't pointed at the goal. If your feet aren't pointed at the goal before you make that 360 full spin, then it's only worth 1 point. That was another overload there.
Spin shot, 2 points for number 98 from Russia. Russia in the white jerseys with the pink specialists and goalies. Team USA with the blue, red specialists and goalies.
Now this court was interesting to me. It was such different sand than the other side courts that I think your Vietnam game was played on, correct?
Yeah, the other side courts were like the local sand, I feel like, from the river that we were playing on. Yeah, river sand. And then this one was maybe Olympic sand or some kind of...
It was really nice.
Really nice, not one other thing in the sand.
So there they said it was another, I think we get a replay of this, where our defense kind of throws themselves into them, where you should just kind of stop and let the player go, because there's going to be no good outcome from there. So now they get another penalty shot after the defense or the goalie stopped the ball. And Russia changed up their shooter because the last one didn't shoot. So they're having a little conversation about arms needing to be down during the shootout. You can't have your arms up, and I think it's a distraction, basically, type of technique that they don't want. So the refs called our team to put them down.
Yeah, like we said in the last video, beach handball is a fair play sport, so they just don't want you trying to distract the shooter, I guess, in that moment. I don't know. But there we go with an attempted lob from the left wing. Sometimes it's hard to get a good lob in. Lobs are kind of hard because the ball has a bunch of sand and maybe sweat on it and or water, and the sand sticks to the... mainly sweat, probably not as much water, but sometimes during a rain game or something, if it's raining. Oh, she threw a dab on us. Number 98 from Russia just dabbed after that goal. Okay, all right, number 98, all right.
We see you.
We see you.
Ooh, almost. Oh, nice, Ashley. they're saying it's only counting as 1.
1 point.
And I think it's because it was too low, right?
Yeah, the ball was too low.
The ball needs to be up higher than the shoulder.
Yeah, I think it's above your shoulder. It's good. If it's below the shoulder, even if you jump off the ground, it's still going to just be 1 point.
And that's just receiving the ball, though. You can still shoot it when it's like, an inch from the ground. You can still shoot it and get those 2 points, but you have to actually make contact with receiving the ball for a lob shot to be 2 points in the air.
Yeah, you'll see some people lean and they're sideways in the air. That way they get just another partial second of hang time so they can see where the goalie's jumping to and get past the defenders. Breakthrough in the middle, spin shot, goal. Anytime the defenders aren't crowding the middle, if that offense can get through, then it's pretty much going to be a goal. Now, it is 4-on-3, so someone's always open, so things are going to happen. The offense should score. Left wing shot for USA. Ooh, near side bar out and controlled by the goalie.
That was a quick breakaway, and that happened. They're calling actually a offensive charge, so they're saying that the offense went and threw themselves into the defense. So that was a good move on the defensive side.
So that was a good save, but it technically won't end up on the books because it was a charge before the shot, but still holding down the fort, the goalie from USA.
I think you're acting a little partial over here. I don't know.
Nice goal from the left wing there.
And they gave her 2 points. Okay, yeah.
Another spin from the middle. We got to crowd that middle.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes you're singling out one really good player, so that's how there ends up being gaps. Ooh, nice save by the goalie from Russia there. The ball went out the side, so it's Team USA's ball.
And now the specialist came out as exiting the court, so she can't step back onto the court. She has to go back through the goalie box. So she exits. If it's intentional to be, an exit, then she needs to go all the way back down into the goalie box to step in and then come back.
Yeah. Specialists with a special colored shirt have to go in the special area.
Is that what that area is called? The special area?
It's the special area. No, it's the goalie box, but or the 6-meter line. Whatever you want to call it. I'm sure that in other languages it's called other things. Like, I know that in Russian they call the specialist a joker.
Oh.
It's not a specialist, it's a joker.
Who told you that?
One of the Russian players.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Actually, maybe it was ABA Jeremy because he was talking to one of the Russian players or something, but
okay.
I remember hearing that somewhere, and it definitely is true, though. I promise it happened. We went out to Russia. The men's team stopped in Madrid, Spain, to train with Spain on the way out to the World Championships here in Kazan, Russia. And the women's team went there a bit earlier than we got there to actual Kazan because they were going to play again. They played in some games and scrimmages against other teams where we trained with just Spain, did some trainings with them, played against a club team or two and against their national team a few times. So it was good training going in.
So now, timeouts are a really good use of, a reset for the team. So I think we're kind of, figuring out what are we going to be doing for these next, 30 seconds, basically. We need to get another goal, so we set up a play that we wanted to do. There's Coach Giuliano de Oliveira. So that was a set play, and it was a nice block by the Russian defense.
Yeah, they got some tall girls on that Russian defense. Ooh, a quick shot trying to surprise the goalie, but she was there. She was ready to go. That goalie from Russia is pretty good. Number 12 must be a goalie number. I don't know. Number 10 and number 12 tend to be the good goalies.
Yeah.
So now the half is over, and the teams are gonna kind of reset, just like at the timeout. And they're gonna get to talk, and they get 5 or so minutes, 5 maybe 10 minutes to relax. And we'll probably edit out some of the in between time maybe, but Looks like we've got some highlights and stuff going on. I've watched this game once or twice, but not super recently.
And can I just say, like, the camera people for handball events, for beach handball, need to reevaluate their angles of women versus men video shots, because all you see is a lot of lower shots for women for these camera views and angles, and it's just not the same for men. So if we're going to talk about some things that need to change with beach handball, then that would probably be on the top of our list. Also, if we're wearing bikinis, they should be wearing some bikinis, like some Speedo bottoms or something. I don't know. But if we all want to be equal here.
I have no problem with wearing Speedo bottoms. That's okay with me.
Oh, man.
Some of you know because I said it in the first episode, but I initially was a water polo player. I still play here and there, and I coach water polo, but we have to wear Speedos, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, so there you go. We'll get at least the USA men's team wearing Speedos. Maybe that will set the tone for the rest of the world, and we'll see them in that for the next World Championships. What do you think? Let's get some comments on this to see who wants to see them all in Speedos.
Yeah, so Cap 7, if you want to be our Speedo sponsor,
calling you out.
Wolf Flago, hit us up.
So, World Championships, it was a pretty cool experience, and just being able to see all these different teams just coming together and being able to not actually understand each other, by language, but at least we come together for something that we all love, and that's beach handball. So it's always good to be able to connect with people and at least, connect on the court. And it's just a really special experience, and it's great to see all those flags in the background, to see all the different countries that are represented here.
Yeah, it's cool. There's, like, when you're at the chow hall, I guess, or the galley, I don't know what they are specifically calling it, but where we get our food, there's two different ones, and there's different teams in each one. The food room, I suppose, yeah, the food rooms, where they serve dinner, breakfast, whatever, the cafeteria area, and so they have food, and everyone's eating the same food. And there's a bunch of different tables, and all the teams are at the tables and stuff, and you're kind of like, hey, what's up, to the next table and all that, but you're all sitting down and eating a meal together. I mean, what is that, Like, that's how you become friends, and that's what, like, camaraderie is started with, is, I think, over meals and drinks and stuff. We're athletes in the middle of a world championship tournament, so we're not drinking or anything. We're just drinking water, but the food and things like that is camaraderie, and then,
So what do you think about the stadium situation here?
Stadium was epic. I loved it. You see that big screen, Megatron screen or whatever, the main screen there, and they put the camera out on the fans and try to do the kiss cam and all that, and it's pretty cool. I think, since this was such a long tournament, a lot of people had to work throughout, so you see how there's not every single seat necessarily filled on that side, but it's also because the sun is glaring on that side, and it is hot.
Yeah, so it was really hot.
Yeah.
And I don't think we were prepared for it to be that hot.
Yeah, I mean, it was way hotter than you would expect, and this sand didn't really get as hot, so that was nice, but the other sand on those other courts, there's a couple American fans right there. I think those are the biggest American fans right there. They're at all of our tournaments.
Yeah, they are. They follow us around. A big shout out to all of our fans that come and support us, no matter what. Whether you're a teammate or a veteran of the sport or a parent or friends, we love to see all those people come together to support us, and we really appreciate it more than we could ever express.
And most tournaments that were out there, in these different countries and stuff, there's usually Americans that are on vacation, and so they like to go and watch our games. We get them into the games and stuff, and they get rowdy for us, and that helps us. So the second half is about to start here. The score starts over in beach handball, so it is again 0-0.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Russia secures the tip again.
Almost.
They're good at the tip-off there.
So that specialist is in the middle. She's been going out to the outside, so hopefully we'll see that again. But that was a nice first shot and score 2-0 with that 360 spin shot. Now we also have our specialist to the middle, and our wings are kind of out more, but they left Courtney open, our specialist, and she just went right through the middle. If you give them an opportunity, especially Courtney, she's going to fly through it and she's going to find her shot, find that sweet spot. Nice save down the middle through the pivot.
Does it feel weird to say a nice save when you're the one making the save?
Well,
that's the way I felt, because I obviously did the commentary on the USA-Vietnam game, and each time there was a save, like, you want to say nice whatever happened, and then it's you, so it feels weird, you know?
Well, it's also, I'm kind of like just looking at it from the outside, and it's still like, I don't know. I'm not used to it being all the time like me in there as well, because we usually have two goalies, but our other goalie, Stacy Self, was injured for this tournament. She's still there and she's still supporting us, but it was very different. Oh, yeah, we got a charge.
Nice charge.
But
that's the way to do it. That's the defense that you want right there.
Yeah. Because that's an automatic turnover, so that's a huge game changer if we can get that, where they don't even get a shot off, and now we get the ball right back to us.
Could be a 4-point swing right there alone. 4-2 USA right here with a spin shot from the middle and in. I'm telling you, if you're in the middle,
they called line.
Oh, they called line. They called line. Gotta watch the line. Gotta give yourself, for those new players out there, you gotta give yourself a nice, like, 10-inch gap. That's what I do. If you're just getting into beach handball, for we have the high schoolers getting started and the youth players and stuff that we'll be sending these videos to. Make sure you guys are leaving a gap on that line. That's important.
And the defense always needs to get the rebound. Our defense did that, and that's also huge whenever your goalie makes that save. You want them to be able to get that rebound.
So there we go. Russia has the ball after a nice save from the Russian goalie. It's still 4-2 USA, so hopefully we can keep this lead right here.
And now that specialist is out on the left again. She likes that side spot, and we see why. She's got a really good outside shot.
Yeah, she swings her arm real wide, and then it's like that wrist just bringing it into that far post. It didn't hit the post that time, but she aims for the bar in, it seems.
Yeah.
And she's fierce. She's fierce, even off the court, when like people would, see her and stuff. She was obviously nice. Everyone's saying hi to each other, like we said. Everyone in beach handball, we're friends and stuff. But you can tell she's ready to bring it. She's in tournament mode.
Yeah. Oh, she tried to do a lob, but it just went over. That's the thing about lobs. And I don't know, like, if I'm a shooter, I'm probably going to try and shoot more low than high, because you can't go under the goal, but you can definitely go over the goal.
Yeah, you mean in that last second where you're like, oh, I don't have a shot, let me just lob it then?
Yeah.
Like that moment, you're like, why not just bounce in that moment? Yeah, I feel you.
Because also bounce shots are really hard for goalies to
I'm over here putting my finger, okay. I'm over here going, shh, don't say that, don't tell them.
Don't tell them our goalie secrets.
Yeah, because I came from water polo, I'm used to blocking all the arm and wrist and stuff. The reading of the shot is the same, but there was never a shot under my waist, you know? And now there's all these shots under my waist, so it's a whole new dynamic. So it's very similar of a sport, and then very different too.
Yeah, but those bounce shots, like, the sand is not the most forgiving surface to try and bounce it off of. It's just so unpredictable. So we call it the curse of the dune, because you just never know where it's actually going to go.
Dune. Speaking of Dune, don't forget to try and check out our Facebook page for Dune Star Beach Handball. Look us up. There's some short clips there, a bunch of photos, and information about our tournaments and other tournaments around. It's a one-stop shop for information for American beach handball. We really got to grow this sport, guys, and it starts from the ground up. So let's all work together and make this happen.
Well, I'm talking about, like, growing the sport. Like, on this team alone, we had multiple people that have played other sports, like, their entire lives. I mean, everybody, especially Americans, like, we play so many different sports growing up. None of them are including handball, usually. There's a select few, but usually their parents are European, and so they get into handball that way. But all these girls and all these players from the American side, at least, have always played volleyball or basketball or soccer or softball or water polo, especially water polo, because water polo is literally beach handball but in the water. Or if we like to explain beach handball, we say it's water polo but on land. So it's the exact same thing.
Sorry to change the subject here, but that is a pretty cool setup. I wish that these aerial views that they had for these would be later in the day when most of the Russians were off work, because this place got packed.
Yeah.
And you can see, even in the sun there, with the sun glaring right into those people's eyes, there is people in the stands there, and on the shady side, there's definitely more people in the stands. So.
Yes, here in Kazan, Russia, we had a lot of fun and a lot of people really excited to have this tournament here. It was a lot of fun.
So Team USA has the ball here. Specialist on the left wing. Center back is Missy. Right wing is charged by Missy.
And that's another thing, like, come on, is Missy taking down two Russians that are taller?
Two Russians that each have at least 40 pounds on her, I feel like.
So I would say that was a good flop. But at the same time, this is what, is about the non-contact of the sport and being able to use that against her, Hey, it's just so crazy.
That was good defense right there.
It was great defense. But it's just... use what you got, I guess.
So Specialist on the left wing here again. Liz Hartnett on the right wing as a lefty. Here we go, switching around. Ooh. Oh, it went with the bar in. Oh, it was a JFK. Did that hit the back of the goalie? So if it hits the goal, if it hits the post of the goal and then the back of the goalie and it goes in, it's a JFK. Because JFK...
I don't know if that's politically correct
JFK was shot in the back of the head.
Just say JFK.
And I said JFK. I don't know why.
Shay Lapin, are you going to come back out and play?
Yeah, come play beach handball again, Shay. Me and Shay were the goalies for the first World Championships for Team USA, and then he went back to water polo. He's the MVP of the National League for water polo, and it's a little too much of a draw for him, plus work and stuff like that.
So, but again, that's good. Goes to show you that different sports are able to be very compatible with beach handball, especially water polo.
Defense is stepping it up this half. They're really making, the offense have to make decisions further out. They're not letting them get close to the line.
We got another save, but it's another penalty shot.
It always seems like when a USA goalie gets a save, then there's a penalty shot. It's almost like, hey, I'm not saying this is happening, but some would be able to argue that maybe the refs are bailing the other team out.
I don't know
You don't
about
think
that.
so?
No,
so?
I don't think we should do that. We love all of our referees.
Yes, we do. We definitely do. But it feels, you always
there needs to be a better situation, though. So she's like, the goalie doesn't know when the whistle's gonna be blown.
Yeah, they're just letting it
the
take
shooter
forever.
doesn't know either.
Almost.
Got the right side.
Read
Just
it.
a little too late.
Read it, but that's
Nice shot. It was a good
6
shot.
meters away with a small ball like this. I mean,
Yeah,
this is a game that is intended for goals to be scored, 100%. The defense is a player down. They're at a disadvantage, so it's all about just trying to make a spectacular play, and that's what they want. So here we go. Russia with an alley-oop pass and goal.
Yep, that was nice.
16-8 Russia with 2 minutes left in the half. That team is good, and you know, they have professional handball players on that team. They have a professional league in Russia, and some of these players are, you know, they're being paid to play, so it is what it is. If I wish that we were able to have, you know, 5-6 hours a day to be paid to train and play scrimmages and be in the weight room and all that, but unfortunately for us, we got to be working and paying our own way on trips and stuff. So
But,
sponsors hit us
Yeah,
up.
I was gonna say, sponsors. If you enjoy this sport and you would like to see it grow, then we're definitely always looking for some more support out there.
A goal from the right wing for Russia, making it 18-8 with just over a minute left. USA has the ball here. Ooh, the ball might have gone a little high there. Plus, like I said, there's a lot of sand on the ball, sweat on the ball. The ball is not easy to handle. Seems like it is.
It's like a rubbery material, and
Yeah.
so it's really depends on how you're catching it and what it's hitting and everything.
If it hits your palm before you squeeze it, it's going to bounce out of your hand.
Yeah.
Even with a soft pass, like these are bouncing balls. They're like, you know, when you're a kid and you get the
I just
thing
thought I'm
called
just
a
gonna
super
stop
ball.
him. Let's just
You get the thing that's called a
let's
super
change
ball.
the topic.
That's they blow those up and then it's a beach handball. That's how that
Change
works.
that topic. Okay, we've got some good camera angles here finally.
Yeah.
But
Some legitimate ones. Yeah, that's a normal camera angle, but they're also
camera angle.
yeah. Okay. All right. Kudos. Maybe they heard us.
Yeah.
They're pretending to have a camera angle on 44, but really they're just
there
trying
we
to look past up the lower
Oh,
angle,
no, we're
the
okay.
lower angles.
We're okay.
Yeah, it's getting better as they
Yeah.
go. Maybe someone
Maybe
said
there are some
something to someone.
complaints.
So here we go. The USA fans. Look,
Yeah,
I'm telling you, there are
USA,
people in the stands.
USA,
That whole side is
USA.
filled. That whole side is filled. It's just because the sun.
Yeah.
And so that's also why the camera is on that side. And if you look, those are like electric boards that
Yeah,
light up and they
sponsors.
change the sponsor boards. You see that? With the IHF logo. IHF stands for International Handball Federation. And they're the governing body for these
Luck.
big tournaments, and they help run the Olympics for the Handball Olympics and etc. Here we go with an alley-oop to the right wing.
Nope, they
Oh,
call
there was
the
a
charge.
There was a charge right as the pass was happening.
So you really need to just be careful about that on offense and on defense with charges, like, because it can really affect the play of the game.
So one more spin shot. Russia just really wanted to get these points. Normally you wouldn't keep going if you're up like this at the last second, but at the World Championships, those points matter because if you're tied with another team to the same number of wins and losses, then it's a point spread situation.
And that's all she wrote.
Yep, that's all
That's
she
the
wrote.
end of the game at, I think it was 20 to 8. Was that
Yeah.
the last? Yeah.
So it was 2-0 Russia. If USA had been able to pull out one of those halves, it would have gone to a shootout to decide the winner. But each half, the score starts over. Thanks for joining us, folks. This is Dune Star Beach Handball's YouTube channel. We're going to get as much content with commentary out there as we can, plus highlight videos, plus tutorial videos. And this is just the beginning, guys, so we really got to help grow this sport and get this stuff out there. Thanks, Katiann Scherer, for joining me and being the guest host for this. She's also one of the co-founders for Dune Star Beach Handball, so she'll probably be on a lot more videos and some when I'm not around. So thanks for being here.
Yep. Thank you for having me. Look forward to the next couple of videos coming out.
Yep. Well, we're gonna get them out there. We're gonna get not just national team videos either. We're gonna get club videos and stuff like that. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for joining us.